I remember my mother took me to the train station to see, well, it was my first sight of refugees. She was hoping that our relatives would come, but unfortunately my aunts and uncles and my cousins were part of the 6 million Jews who paid with their lives, because that's what happened to the Jews in Europe. Prague was invaded in March 1939 by the Nazis, and all the Jews in Prague, and there were quite a lot of refugees there as well, realised that they were in great danger, including my parents. But it was very, very difficult for people to leave, to go to safer places in Europe or America or anywhere, because other countries were refusing to take them. Britain had already taken nearly 10,000, mainly Jewish children from Germany and Austria. And then one man, called Nicholas Winton, realised that there was nothing for the Czech Jewish children, and he decided to do something about it. And when my mother heard about it, and some friends, she approached him to see if I could come. When my mother told me that those were the plans, I told her I wasn't leaving. But she explained to me that it was safer for me to go and that they would follow. So I suppose I was persuaded, but I wasn't very enthusiastic. We travelled through Germany to Holland by train, and then we got on a boat, which was absolutely a new experience for most of us. There the train took us to London, and in London we were pretty much collected by the foster parents who'd decided to take us, and I was brought to Sheffield. It was very different, very strange. It took a lot of getting used to. I was getting practically daily letters from my parents asking how it was and telling me to behave myself and so on, and to wash properly and eat the food and so on. But then, of course, beginning of September, the Second World War started when Hitler invaded Poland, and the letters immediately stopped, immediately. It took a long time before I learned what had happened to them. My parents were deported to Poland, to what's called Łódź ghetto, as early as October 1941. I was sent some stuff that my father had left, which included a letter to me. It was written the day before he and my mother were deported, and he tells me that he still believes that people are good, and it's how he wants me to feel about people, and to do my best. My father died there a year later. My mother was still alive in 1943, but I can't trace what happened to her after that, although I have tried. I don't know whether you know, but Sheffield was the first city of sanctuary in Britain, which those of us who are involved with it are very proud of. And there's been a lot said about unaccompanied children, particularly from Syria, whose parents sent them off out of desperation. And because of my background, I've got feeling for that. So a group of us have been trying to persuade Sheffield to take some of these children. But quite a lot of people who came here on Kindertransport are still doing it. I think it's affected my life hugely. I mean, I'm very aware that if I wouldn't have had that sanctuary here, I wouldn't be here. For the last 40 years, I have been giving talks in schools and universities and so on about the Holocaust and what it means to be different, and particularly with children, to try and get them to think about diversity in a positive way, you know, that it's good that we are different to each other, that it makes life a lot more interesting. Because I think that's absolutely the only way forward, is for people to enjoy each other's differences.